Good evening, everyone, and welcome to I want to say it's the last match day of potential IPDs for the series for the season, but we still have Kante and the Europa League final tomorrow night. Other than that, we don't have anyone else in any qualifying action until we get like Depay, Dumfries into the Nations League. But I kind of gave the game a little bit away last week with roughly where we're at percentage wise, but I just wanted to kind of round everything off. Now, and also we'll continue doing this on a Tuesday, but we're looking at things at a different angle slightly. Um, but like I mentioned to you before, guys, when we started this season, unfortunately, I had it in my mind for so long to do something like this, and then by the time I released funds in my portfolio and applied them into this kind of strategy, I was just in a bit of a rush to do it ASAP just to get the ball rolling. I was just like, it's one of these things you got to rip the bandage off and go for it. And unfortunately, the night we chose was Friday night, so we were buying players before they had matches, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, when their prices had already taken a rise, because we're also looking at the same fixtures as everyone else in the next kind of span. And then we had the change with was it the share split? I can't remember, but something changed anyway. One of the Football Index announcements, I've lost track, there's been that many, which one it was. So we had to change, it was a media thing, I think. So we had to change the kind of strategy of the hold fairly quickly. Now, to start off with, guys, when I started this only accounted for something like, I started off with like £200, and at the time my portfolio was worth, I think, about 14. So we started off with it being somewhere around the kind of 10 to 15% mark. Yeah, about 15% or so of our portfolio was committed towards a strategy, so we're keeping it fairly low risk. And then I just personally downsized my portfolio and then put more money into this because it was an active strategy that was working, and it was an easy way to deploy funds and know that they were going to be looked after to a certain extent. So, and like I said at the beginning as well, guys, we were really testing the waters through that last, but basically ended up with, including the Nations League and the Europa League, we'll end up having effectively 10 match days out of it in total. And it was just to give us a real foundation to start next season with a strategy and make sure that we'd kind of sussed out things that we liked about it, things that worked, things that didn't work, things to consider, and all that type of thing. Okay, and overall, guys, I'll just show you the P&L. So I've went through all my transactions, and there's only 8 episodes of this, guys, so if you wanted to fact check me on this, then it's quite easy to go ahead and do that. So the outlay is now down to £391 and 81 pence. Okay, if you can't caught the video I did yesterday, I've started selling some of the players that we bought in this strategy in phase 2, where we'd already locked in some profit and we're in a good position. I've just been going and buying some other players with that money, and I did a video about it yesterday, so you can go back and check that out if you're not too sure. But we've basically sold 10 Brandt and 10 Alba, and we're in the middle of trying to sell a further 5 Depay and 5 Pepe. Okay, now the 5 Depay and Pepe that we are selling at the moment, I've not taken out of this equation. Okay, so bearing in mind both those positions are in 6% profit and 12% profit as it stands now. These figures, I'm still holding them in my outlay because I've not sold them yet. Okay, I could gerrymander the figures a little bit and add them in or remove them from the outlay and then still have everything else balanced out, and it would increase my percentage on this. I've not did the maths to work it out because I don't really care about fudging figures to make myself look cool or anything. Okay, so I've just left them in from outlay, and once we're done with the Nations League, I'll probably do a final wrap up. Okay, because after that is when we'll be setting forth the next iteration of the squad after that, once we've got to that point. Okay, so our outlay was 391. Our current market value, including the 5 guys, the 10 pieces that are up for sale now, our current market value is 417.75. Minus 2% leaves us at 409.40. We also had dividends, which I showed you in the last video, of 9.84. And again, you can go and fact check this, guys. I'll show you the list here. You can pause, you can do whatever you want, you can see you can add it up. Right, this is what we've earned in dividends. Okay, 9.84. Sorry, I keep pressing the wrong button. and our net profit basically sits at 7% at the moment. Okay, so for what was initially a test, something we started at a poor time, we then had the carpet pulled from under our feet, I think around match day 3 or something like that, and we had to kind of jiggery pokery change some things around. We're still sitting at a nice percentage of 7%. No, don't get me wrong, it's not 19. 19 is the benchmark that I want to always kind of set the portfolio against going forward. If you're not too sure why, ask me in the comment section. I have mentioned it in previous videos. But I think that considered is, that is a nice position to be in. We've had a lot of fun with it personally, and a lot of these positions as well, guys, as he said now, Koulibaly is at a terrible position because people believe he's not moving to Man United anymore. Brandt has had a great transfer and people have just dropped him. Depay has been hired, fairly recently. So is Savic, and so is De Gea. So even though it sits currently at 7% now, I think expecting it to be closer to 10% when it's all said and if we started releasing players earlier and selling them at peaks, if we started doing that last week, then the figures could be a lot better. But I said, once we put this team together, that we wanted to hold this for as long as possible throughout the summer. Okay, and I'll explain why. Now, a lot of these players, we expect them to be linked in media and that type of thing as well, but also see any ones that we don't actually sell between now and the beginning of next season. See the event alone of the season starting, more money will be coming into the market, there'll be more users at that point, and then the fixtures, however they pan out, and whatever clubs some of these guys play for, and whatever situations it might be, the likelihood of them being more profitable at the beginning of the season versus when I bought them at the tail end of last season is fairly significant. Never mind anything else I might want to do, sell people who are in a position of profit and buy somebody else's on a low and take them for a run, whatever it might be. But we're in a great position now. So if this isn't a strategy that you've followed in your own portfolio, it's something that I can now say with a degree of confidence, even if you're to do it fairly poorly, which I would kind of say that we have on the first test run that we've had, the videos you've seen thus far, because of the reasons I've already stated at least twice, so I'm not going to do it again. Even in a poor run, 7% profit is still 7% profit, so there's other players who you might want to put your money into and that type of thing, which is cool, right? But number one, this is a gambling product, okay, and that's something you have to always bear in mind, okay? And if you're really, the purpose of my portfolio, the purpose of my channel is to hopefully show you a nice alternative option to traditional gambling, okay? And a really easy way of doing that is feeling as if you've got a dog in the fight in as many football matches as possible, so when players score, you get that same. It's not going to be to the same extent as if you had £20 on a first goal scorer or anything, don't get me wrong, right? But still having that same yes, because number one, your portfolio is going to be better off for it, and number two, guys, if you're on Football Index, there's a high chance you're going to be active in conversation on some level with this product, whether it be Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApps, you and your pals when you're at the pub, anything at all. And having, that's a big part of Football Index. It's like Football Manager for adults, for men. This is men's Football Manager. You put your money in your mouth as, I found this guy when he was 18 pence. That's the new, I found this wonder kid that played for some unknown team in Venezuela, bought him for Real Madrid and he won Ballon. That's the same thing that this also offers for you. And let's be real about it, it's something that really, I don't suppose, gets addressed too often. But a lot of us, I would guess and I would bet, are Football Manager kids. Like me, for example, I remember my first football management game I bought was Premier Manager on the PS1. And LMA Manager on the PS1. I'll go all the way back to games like that. Never mind Champ 1 and all these other games. Console management games way back then were the first thing that bit the bug for me, and I suppose a lot of you guys will be the same, And it's a nice angle, and like I said at the beginning, I only committed like 10 to 15% when my portfolio was fully up and running and it was in a healthy position with profit and deposits and whatever, before I had to withdraw money for personal reasons. So to have 10 to 15% even committed to it, and in that 10 to 15% in a bad situation, which I think we can all agree, we've done well, don't get me wrong, we've had some PB wins and some good goal returns, but even doing it at a bad time and maybe being ill prepared for what was ahead of us, you still made 7% on that 10 to 15% it started off as, even if you want to think about it like that, because the percentages all factor, up and down. guys, okay? So I hope you've enjoyed the first eight match days. If there's anything you've noticed throughout the season, guys, criticisms or things you have liked that you'd like to highlight and underline, please feel free to drop them in the comment section below. The next video we do, I've already made some early scouting missions for the fantasy football agency, into who we want to acquire for next season already, and I'll start to talk about that in the coming videos as well. Obviously we'll have the Europa League to discuss and maybe look ahead to the Nations League, but we're now going to start to piece together the next phase of the strategy, and that's getting ahead with some of these guys who are in a nice position we might want to sell. Who do we want to buy in for next season when the attention is on transfers and media and all that type of thing, guys, okay? So if you're new around here, guys, please subscribe to the channel. It means so much to me, you've got no idea. The last couple of videos, guys, I've not actually had too many comments on, which I love interacting on the comment section, so please don't be shy. You know, anything you want to say, ask, comment on, go for it. I'd love it. And yeah, go for it, guys, and I'll catch you on the next video. Take care. Bye bye.